Okay, all right.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the July meeting of the Community Redevelopment Agency Advisory Committee meeting. Can we begin, please, with a roll call?
Mr. Sanchez?
Here.
Ms. Geimer?
Here.
Mr. Each?
Here.
I have to stand up for roll call.
Ms. Estime Irvin?
Here.
Mr. McDermott?
Present?
Ms. Cobo?
Here.
Mr. Reynolds?
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay. Can we have the Pledge of Allegiance?
Alphabetical, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we have a motion to approve the minutes of June 5th?
I do.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
You're absent. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay. All right, we have a motion to approve the minutes. We have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, first agenda item, resolution to approve recess authority.
Yes, I apologize, Ms. Esme Irvin is correct, she came in late.
Yeah, that's
Yes, yes, I apologize. So I will correct it for the record, but you did come in late, but you were there, so I apologize. For the record, we will amend the minutes to reflect that Ms. Esme Irvin was here, okay?
Okay. Can I have
At
a
least
copy?
oh, the packet or?
Packet.
Oh, okay. I thought you had one, or else I would have
I
sent
have
it.
the
Pass it out.
agenda.
Thank you. So as it is customary when the council and the CRA board goes on recess, the city council passes a resolution authorizing the city manager and the city attorney to continue operating the city throughout the recess time.
Right.
This is the same since we are following procurement guidelines by the city. We got the language from the city attorney, and our CRA attorney obviously just changed it to reflect the chair and the board. So again, this is just saying that after tomorrow, which is July 11th, the last council meeting and last CRA board meeting, that they are in recess until August 21st. So the city manager and the CRA attorney and the city clerk are authorized to continue operating the CRA in the best interest of the agency until such time they come back for recess. So unless you have any question, it's just a basic pro forma that we need to do to have on record for the board.
I move that we accept that.
Do I have a second?
Yes.
Any discussion on it? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Bagel Bar East.
Yes.
How are you?
Okay, this is, for the record, our last grant request for this fiscal year. I'd like to preface by saying that we have actually exhausted or encumbered all of our grant funds this fiscal year, which was $800,000.
Right.
Last year, we always had a little change, we had a little bit, this is the first time, and we do still have pretty much a wait list for next fiscal year of other people making a request. North Miami Bagels, doing business as Bagel Bar East, is located at 1990 Northeast 123rd Street. They've been in the community for about 22 years. Mr. and Mrs. Hockman are here to answer any questions. They currently employ 10 full-time and 2 part-time employees. They provide bagels, bread, breakfast, lunch. They're open 7 days a week. They provide in-service, takeout, catering. This grant is to do a full-on redevelopment facade of Bagel Bar East to give it a proper facelift, exterior and internal. There are pictures in the project, as you can see, and I think most of you, now I think Ms. Cobo, you see where it is. Most of you have been to Bagel Bar East at least once in your life.
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay. The proposed look and feel of what they're trying to do is pretty much they want to modernize it, make it more sleek and appropriate for the new times. They have presented some pictures of the before and after of what they're proposing to do. They're proposing to, change the impact windows and the outside signage, the monument sign inside. They're gonna change the flooring, the counters, everything that is permanently fixed inside, so you will see the pictures. The total cost of the project, based on the bids that they've received, is about $426,897. With the new guidelines, they can, as a rehab grant, they can apply for $100,000, which is, by the way, what we have left in our line item to provide. There are no violations on this property. They have all their licenses and permits as required. Staff is recommending approval of the $100,000 grant, and especially if I'm not mistaken, usually the summer is like a slow season. So it's ideal, and it's a perfect time for us to provide them this grant so they can get the work done right away during the summer, so that when they reopen, it's a brand new face for their clients when they come back. Like I said, Mr. and Mrs. Hockman are here if you have any questions.
Okay, would you like to come up and introduce yourselves? Just give your name and address.
Hi, Courtney Hockman,
Stephen Hockman,
1990 Northeast 123rd Street.
which we live in North Miami also.
Yes.
Would you like to tell us a little bit what you're trying to do?
What we're trying to do is, like she discussed, is basically modernize our restaurant. It hasn't ever been remodeled. It's original. So there's a lot of years of wear and tear on the business, and we'd really like to update the look as well. So it would be exterior, new signage, painting the building, fixing any facade issues. We have some stucco work that needs to be done, things like that. Inside, we want to put down new flooring. We're going to do
Very nice.
a new ceiling, new cabinetry, new counters, basically a whole new look.
Okay,
And I'd like to mention, like I said, this is great because the investment that they are making, so when you look at, the project is gonna cost them $426,000, we are investing $100,000, but we are actually leveraging $326,000 in private funds as an investment into the business as well. So it's a great
is
opportunity.
this within our guidelines, 100,000?
Yes, the new guidelines for rehab allows you to give grants up to $100,000 for a rehab grant.
Now, what is that for the exterior?
Interior and exterior rehab, both.
Yeah, but the interior is fixed.
The interior is fixed assets, right?
Yeah,
Interior, yeah, it's the
Yeah.
flooring, the counters, all of it, that's
they're
fixed.
gonna have new
We
chairs
don't do
and that kind of thing.
furniture, they know we don't do furniture or
Right.
anything, we don't do blinds
Right.
and those things. And, when they submit their reimbursement, obviously, we go through the reimbursement to make sure that what we are allowing is what we're being billed for,
Okay.
okay?
Very good. Well, I'll tell you, as Ms. Cobo cited, you can't live in North Miami and not go there at least once. Okay? I don't wanna count how many times I've been there.
Good.
But anyway, you guys do a wonderful job, and I know you're good community partners. So, you know, that's important as well. So, does anybody have any questions? Do I have a second to that?
I just have a question though.
Oh, okay.
Out of the 12 employees, how many of them are North Miami residents?
I think it was,
Six.
including us, it was six.
Okay.
Six besides ourselves. Yeah, we actually, I've been raising my family here in North Miami, so we've had 2 kids living in North Miami, so.
Yeah.
Besides, I've been at the business 20 years. you know.
Right. Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Please make a note that Dr.
Melian?
Melian has joined us. Okay.
Okay, the next item, before we get into the executive director's report, I wanna, bring your attention to our annual report was finally printed, so I'd like to make sure you all have a copy. Again, this is a
Right.
marketing material for the CRA, so when you're meeting with potential businesses, developers, this is a great, marketing tool. I have several copies, hundreds of copies in my office, just let me know how many you need and I'll get them to you.
Okay.
This is, again, this is like our report card for people to know what it is that we do as an agency and as a board. And the other one is Alaska Coffee Roasting is having their grand reopening this Friday, July 14th at 6 o'clock. I hope you can be there. We're gonna, cut the ribbon, and she's also planning some roasting, courses and so on. It's open to the public, and this is again, especially for the public to know what the CRA does. You know, I've seen like the city of North Miami CRA. No, it's not the city of North Miami CRA, it's the North Miami CRA. This is this group that's making this happen in the community. So it's very important, that, you know, we attend and support the businesses that we've funded. Okay, so also please share it with others.
Okay. Do we want to have the, since we have him here, with CRA attorney report?
Well, yeah, sure, it's the,
Thank you.
Paul, is there the other one?
I think the only thing I
I'll
have to
go.
report is gonna be encompassed in the,
in the executive director's report.
Director's report. There's no separate legal issues to report on.
Okay. I see that we have Chief Beige in the back. Would you like to come up and report on the corridor? Real quick.
Good evening.
Hello.
We weren't planning on giving a report. We were gonna provide our third quarterly report at the next meeting,
Okay.
which would cover the months of, I guess, April, May, June, and into July. So
Okay.
we'll provide it at the next meeting. But I can tell you that everything is still going on, status quo in the downtown CRA and the Northwest CRA area. We continue to be out there, we continue to be visible, and our presence is noticed. And we finally got the purchase order approved, correct, Rosh? Or it's in the final approval to start the North Miami Connect program, where we can start interfacing the private business cameras all together so they can be inter-shared and viewed at the police department.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Okay, Executive Director's report.
Oh, yeah. So last week at the July 6th, County Commission, our item to remove the boundary reduction requirement from the interlocal, got a hiccup. Commissioner Mon's team, felt that he needed to have a sunshine meeting with Commissioner Hayman, and he felt that he needed to be talked to a little bit more about the item, even though, you know, we've discussed, we've had several meetings with all the commissioners, especially Commissioner Montes and Commissioner Hayman. We brought it to this body. We've also brought it to the CRA board and the city council. And as you recall, his point of contention is that he wanted to remove all the residential enclaves within the CRA. This body, the CRA board and the city council, as the governing body, felt that it was more appropriate to leave the geographic boundaries as is. Because especially right now, in light of the fact that our properties are appreciating, the projects are actually happening, we now have sufficient TIF dollars to invest in those residential neighborhoods that haven't had any investment in a while. As you recall, also, last month, the board passed a resolution to fund $700,000 to the housing department to rehab 35 homes, which most likely, you know, when you look at it, the homes that are in the CRA are mainly west of here. So those are the homes that would benefit, but with Commissioner Mon's team's requirement to reduce the boundary, those homes would not have benefited otherwise. So we do have a hiccup, and but we are on the county agenda for September 7th for sure. And I know I did send everybody several emails telling you where we were, what was going on, and so on and so forth. So as soon as I know when the sunshine meeting is scheduled between Commissioner Hayman and Commissioner Mon's team, obviously I will be sharing that with you. But for sure, the September 7th meeting is set. It's a date certain where our item will be presented for a vote. The other thing is we are going to try to schedule another meeting with Commissioner Mon's team. Again, I will let you know. All these meetings are public, open. If you have the time and you want to participate, I invite you to. The more input, you know, maybe you can help negotiate or change some minds, but this is where we are. Now, one of the comments that was made, and the attorney's here and he's going to confirm that, is one of the comments that was made at the commission meeting was the CRA essentially sunsetted July 1st, and then now they're giving us a reprieve to September 7th. They said that we did not submit our amended plan by July 1st. Well, actually we did. The county commission, the CRA board, and the city council approved our amended plan at the December meeting. The plan has been approved. We did everything we were supposed to. We met all our requirements. The issue is we were supposed to provide a reduced geographic boundary by July 1st. And right now what we're saying is our board, everybody says we don't want to reduce the boundaries. The plan that we approved is the plan that we're following. It has affordable housing in the language. It has redevelopment of the downtown, as you know, redevelopment of 7th Avenue, all the major corridors, and the train station. And we would like the county commission to support us in getting this last item removed so we can continue our work for the next 29 years. So if you have any questions, I think the attorney can also, right? Did I miss anything? I think that was it. Okay. Yes, sir.
What problem that Commissioner Morris' team has with the plan as it is? Why does he want to reduce the area? Does he have a valid reason for that? I mean,
The point that he's mentioned is that he feels that we would gentrify the residential areas.
I think there is no logic at all in whatever he's saying. There's no reason, there's no reasoning, there's nothing. I don't know, it's a mystery.
I think when a CRA is created, we do a finding of necessity. We had to do a needs assessment. We had to confirm that there was effectively slum and blight in all the communities that we are still going to help, so we can create a plan. His preference to reduce the boundaries so far he has not produced the data to show that the slum and blight has been removed in those areas, nor have we as a body done anything effectively to remove the slum and blight. We are now doing rehab in those neighborhoods. We're not going to do any kind of affordable housing, huge projects in a residential area because it's not zoned for it, it doesn't call for it. Our plan calls for sensible mixed income housing development along their major corridors, workforce housing, affordable housing, and market rate housing to mix it so that it allows for proper redevelopment. What we are saying is the single family areas, we want to rehab them because you already have residents there on fixed income, either seniors or disabled. They need the help, and this is what we need to do. Those are the people that are in that area. He has not produced data yet supporting his request, and so that's what we're using also as, like, we have done the research. The city's housing department has done their comp plan, as you recall, and they have determined that we have, bless you, we do have at least 6,000 homes that are considered substandard, either because they're overcrowded, they are old stock that need to be revamped in those, in the area.
He's only one vote, right? I mean, we need the entire commission to vote on
You
this.
need 7 votes.
Okay, but he's only one vote.
Yes, sir.
And just for the
But it is his district.
He is one of the
So-
district commissioners. Sally Heyman
Yeah.
is the other district
And
commissioner.
he made that point over and over and
Over,
over
yeah.
again.
Yes, I'd
Yeah.
like to thank Mr. Reynolds and Mr. McDermott for coming down, and braving parking and traffic to be there with us at the meeting on the
Yeah,
6th.
So,
I have
over
a
and over again,
question.
he said that, 90%, he mentioned it different ways, but basically he said 85% or 90%, whatever, of the property affected is in his district. So, he made that point several times.
Have a question. Does he have to provide data?
Mr. Attorney?
I'm sorry, Claudia, was he required to provide data?
Exactly.
I don't think he's required legally to provide data. We've asked for data because this is a huge change to the redevelopment area. And as Rasha has pointed out, we haven't completed the mission of alleviating the slum and blight in those areas. So it doesn't make sense to us from a practical and legal standpoint that we should reduce the CRA redevelopment area. I've seen other CRAs where they've completed their mission, like in Miami Beach, and they reduce the area or they sunset the CRA. I mean, it just, from our perspective as the agency, it doesn't make sense. We've met with him, despite what was said at the county commission meeting, and I'll just put that on the record. We have met with him, and we have met all the requirements. We provided data. We went through like a recertification process when we really weren't required to, but we did. And we wouldn't have been at that county commission meeting if we hadn't provided everything that we were supposed to provide to the county. I mean, you don't get to the county commission by not providing what you were supposed to provide. The staff the committee that you go to first. They're not going to put you in front of the full commission unless you've done what you were supposed to do. So,
And we did, for the record, we did go to the committee, the housing committee on June 12th. So,
I mean, I would just venture to say that this is more of a political issue than a substantive issue.
Then, political issue, let's make a political approach. Let's find out what is going on. Because for me, Mr. Monestein is a person that he understands a lot of things, and that's the way that I see it.
Well, I think this, I'm sorry, no, you go ahead, sir.
So I agree with you 100%. We have to keep our eyes open. This is maybe a political issue. We just have to keep our eyes open to understand things, what's going on. This is now trying to divert the stuff.
I personally believe we've done what we need to do. There's nothing else for us to do. Needs to vote it up or down. That's it. You know, we've done everything that we need to do, and that's it. We've gone above and beyond. There's nothing else to do. What is the reason that you want to take the residential housing
There's
off of
something
the
weird.
CRA? We haven't completed our mission. Provide a logical reason, even if it's not in writing. Provide.
My impression from being there was that when the Sally wanted agree, first she said no, she wouldn't agree to a meeting in the sunshine. She wanted to vote now. And then she said, okay, we'll have a meeting in sunshine. We can put it up, we can do it, we put it off to the next meeting, which is the 21st.
no,
And he
the
said
18th.
no, huh?
The 18th.
The 18th.
Yeah.
The 18th?
Mm-hmm.
And he said no, he had conflicts, he couldn't meet before then. I mean, if it's such a huge issue, well, in my opinion, such a huge issue, you would make some time. So, he asked for the meeting to be after, the vote to be after the recess, the summer recess. And to be indefinite, meaning
No
there
date, no
would
date
be a
certain.
meeting, there would be a vote after he met with Sally, but the date wouldn't be set until after they had met, meaning he could do whatever he wanted. And the consensus of the entire board was that, the commission was that, no, we'll go to the 7th of September, our first meeting after the recess, but that's it. There will be a vote, there will be no more delays. Is that right?
That is what I understand.
Still, yes.
September, that's the deadline.
There was a deadline, there will be no more delays.
Right, that will be an
So
up or
even if
down.
he does not meet with Sally, there's going to be a vote
On the
on
7th.
the 7th.
Yes. That they were trying to, Ms. Hayman wanted to do a sunshine meeting July 12th and to bring it back by July 18th. And he said he had conflict because he's traveling and he wanted to just defer it. So they will be scheduling a sunshine meeting, and like I said, when I do find out when it is, obviously I will share it with you. It is open to the public. And also, we will try to schedule one more meeting with Commissioner Mona's team. And I will let you know as well. But September 7th is it.
Excuse me for interrupting. I would not, you said one more meeting. Limit it to as many meetings as you want, so that there's not.
I will request, but like, if he responds, I will try to get at least one meeting out of him. Is that better? Yeah. So,
Okay, anything else, Sasha?
no, that is it. I just wanna let you know.
Is there a particular person that you are in contact with in his office?
His chief of staff, McKinley Lauriston, and also Elizabeth Owens is his policy director. Those are the two people that have been, working on this item, pretty much since the inception.
And I just, okay, that's my question. Can our attorney be present for the
Of course,
meeting?
he will be present.
Yes, I have been present at most of the
Most.
meetings, but then there were some, I think, that staff went forward with on
For
their own,
scheduling
and they did not,
purposes.
bring the county attorney to those meetings either. So the county attorney's office is also present at the meetings. But they don't represent, they represent the county, they don't rep the commissioner. I will say, and going back to Mr. Sanchez's statements, that staff did a great job in meeting with everyone, meeting with all the commissioners, getting the votes, and get everything ready and teed up for July 6th. The issue is once it gets in front of the commissioners and you've got two commissioners sort of going head to head, that's where it's sort of out of our hands, and there's nothing we can do at that point.
I understand, but Mr. Attorney, I don't know if I need to officially request it, but I would appreciate it, and I would like it as much as possible, if you can, moving forward, attend, so just that there's not
I will certainly be at, I will certainly be at those
you know,
meetings.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, is there any old business to come before us? Any new business? Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Have a
Sorry.
great summer.
Yeah,
For
sorry,
those of you
next-
I don't see
When's
until
the next
August.
meeting? When is it?
August, I think
End of
before,
August.
yeah,
I am
end of
going to
August.
Finland in 2 days.
And then September's the
Where?
budget meeting.
Finland.
Like, so we pretty much have the Chinatown thing in August.